This today, House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy in studio here in New York, and welcome back, sir. Good morning to you. One of the many things we discovered on the Comey testimony is that 4 were under surveillance, 4 Trump campaign officials,
yes,
as opposed to 2 before. What does that tell you, if anything? Does that change the story in any way?
I don't think it changed the story, but it goes to show the discrediting of Comey. Whereas he sits in this hearing, but he says, I don't know, what, 166 times as he goes through. He wrote a book, he goes through. One thing that came to me is there's no collusion with this president. And Comey, I don't know why he's still out there talking about things he's discredited.
Help us understand when he says 14 Russians had contact with Trump campaign officials in 2016. Is that an issue, or is that just how Washington works?
If you're in an international city, people interact with a lot of individuals. I don't know what he's referring to here, but did they affect the election or the outcome? Every investigation in the House and Senate says they did not. Oh. Did they talk with the president? No, that wasn't the case. So if you look at what Comey said in there, the FISA, going after individual, here they are. Comey knew that who paid for the dossier, and he still did not tell the courts. He thought there was nothing wrong with what they went through with FISA. I thought that was a major problem inside that investigation.
You just heard from Jerry Nadler. Here's Adam Schiff on CBS on Sunday.
My takeaway is there's a very real prospect that on the day Donald Trump leaves office, the Justice Department may indict him, that he may be the first president in quite some time to face the real prospect of jail time.
Listen. Schiff is the same individual who 2 years ago, before any investigation started, said he had proof and that he could never produce anything. His credibility is rather low inside Washington for his members on either side of the aisle. I think what it shows, if the president hires an attorney to solve a problem, he expects him to do it in a legal manner. I don't see, and if Schiff is taking this beyond to go forward and say there's a impeachable offense because of a campaign finance problem, there's a lot of members in Congress who would have to leave for that same place.
You leave the majority of the first week of January. What do you think this does to the state of Washington affairs when Democrats head up all these committees?
Well, it's a challenge. It looks like what they're going to focus on is just more investigations. I think America is too great of a nation to have such a small agenda. I think there's other problems out there that we really should be focused upon. And in my belief is, let's see where we can work together. Let's move America forward. We've investigated this for a long period of time. Both sides have come up with nothing in the process. I think we should put the American people first.
Let's see what calculation they make come January. In the meantime, you have about 2 more weeks when you are in charge. GOP funding priorities are what now, do you believe, of the next 2 weeks?
Well, we fund 75% of the government already. So we have 2 weeks left, 2 more weeks to go, 25% of the government still to be funded. And one of those elements also deals with the security along the border. Nancy Pelosi's in a tough position. She has to get 218 votes on the floor of Congress individually, so she doesn't want to deal with the subject. Schumer, he's only got about 1.6 in there to deal with border security. We got a caravan coming forward. I think we can find common ground. I know where the president is. The president wants to come to an agreement, work a deal out, and that's what he's going to have a meeting with them this week. We've got Google's CEO coming in tomorrow. I think it's very important based upon what we're looking at bias, when we're looking at privacy issues, when we're looking at what they're doing in China and what they're doing with our U.S. military. I think there's a lot of questions that have to be answered.
That's very interesting. With regard to border security, you have technology down there, you have personnel to take care of the wall. Do you think it happens or not?
It has to happen in the process. We've been funding it. We've been building part of it already. It's a combination of the element to make sure the border is secure.
Yeah. What is your sense of the tariff battle?
Well, I think we're getting China's attention. Someone should have done this a long time ago. I believe the next 90 days, the president thinks he can get an agreement. I think America will be stronger for that. What China's been doing to a number of companies in America, from stealing their technology, from ever since they entered the WTO, they have not played by the same rules. I think the rest of the world is looking at the same time. We just renegotiated NAFTA. I think that modernizes, makes America stronger in the same basis.
On that point, do you think that'll pass?
I do believe it will pass.
I guess we'll call it USMCA?
Yes. I believe we won't see it until February. It'll be with a new Congress. But I believe at the end of the day, it does pass.
Yeah. As you look back on your time when you had all 3 branches of government in control, you got a lot done. What's your biggest regret that did not happen?
I wish we would have been able to reform health care. That element would have made, one, costs lower, would have protected more individuals. And remember, even though you have 3 branches of government, as long as there's 60 votes in the Senate, you never totally have it.
Let's see how it goes for the next 2 weeks. Kevin McCarthy, great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here in person.
Thank you.